Right then, this one is a bit of a leftover chicken and sausage stew, okay? So I've got 2 chicken wings, 2 chicken legs, cut the sausages. Basically, we're putting stuff together again, but it's kind of Spanish influence. We've got green pepper, we've got red tomato, where have we heard that before? We've got a slice of onion, got some garlic cloves, some bay leaves, some olives, half a tin of soup, some butter beans, tin butter beans. Now that's where we're going to get structure and depth from in this dish. And some of this, some andura. So it's kind of like chorizo kind of paste. Spicy, paprika-y, chili-ish. Kind of goes in loads and loads of flavour. Right, first thing we're going to do, put a splash of oil into the pan. And again, it's going to be a bit of a one-pan wonder. And then into that, I'm going to put the chicken legs, skin side down, and the chicken wings. They're going to pop and fizz. And whilst they're doing that, I'm going to chop our vegetables. I'm going to try and keep this relatively chunky actually. Quite often I chop things up and try and make it go a long way, but this, I want chunks of veg. So the peppers literally into quarters and then into big chunks, just like that, okay? The green pepper, I never used to be a big fan of, but then I don't know, as I've got older, I started to think that the flavour of it, it's not sweet, not like a red pepper. But what it has got is it's got some lovely, incredible, amazing strength of character to it. It's a rawness, kind of like a raw spice. And that, for me, is amazing for a dish like this. Onions cut into chunks, still with a little bit on the end, so they're quite chunky. The garlic as well. I'm not going to chop that. All I'm going to do is give that a little crush, and they're going to go in whole but crushed. Now the chicken, beginning to caramelise, get a good bit of colour on it. The sausages will go in as well. Try and get a bit of colour on those. Tomatoes, going to cut them into 8. So everything's going to be relatively chunky. Butter beans, just going to drain them. So these are pre-cooked, just a tin of those. And the lovely thing about butter beans is they're quite starchy, they're quite big, they're wholesome, they're full of, like, they absorb loads and loads of flavour. Okay, once this chicken's got colour on one side, turning over, brown it the other side. Okay, once everything's got a bit of colour on it, remove it from the pan. It's all going to go back in afterwards. So you've got the chicken wings, the chicken eggs, cut the sausages. Then at this point the onions go in, the garlic, the chunky peppers, and let them roast and stew and all that kind of, like, where that chicken is being rendered, the chicken fats come out and it's going to cook in that flavour. So there you can see, so the moment it starts to get just a little bit of colour on it, that's what we want. Just a little bit of caramelisation, but not too much, okay? We don't want it to soften and break down too much. At this point, we're going to put this in, alright? And this will slowly break down. I mean, this is great just spread on toast. And it's already cooked, okay? It's already cooked. Stir that around just a little bit, let that kind of soften and break down. Add the beans back into the pan. Tomatoes go in. Then at this point, I'm going to put some mixed pitted olives. Layer and layer and layer of flavour. Black and green olives. A few capers. You know by now that I love capers. That little nuggets and bursts of acidity. Some ground garlic, some garlic granules. A little bit of smoked paprika. Some dried thyme. The bay leaf. Some seasoning. Normal table salt. A little bit of ground pepper. Good mix. You see all those flavours coming together. Absolutely amazing. And then into this crumbly stock cube, and then leftover tomato soup. Good mix. Bring it up to the boil. You can see it's chunky, it's lovely, it looks great. And then here I've got some leftover beer from making a batter the other day. I'm going to pour that in. And then as it comes up to the boil, chicken goes back in. And then the 2 sausages as well. And this goes into an oven about 180 degrees, and I bake it for around about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Okay, the smell of that is incredible, the flavours, the tastes. Oh, look at it. So those beans, the chunky peppers, that Endura where it's kind of cooked out in all those flavours. That, I mean, it just smells amazing. Beautiful colours, vibrant, lovely, looks amazing. I mean, and it's all put together with stuff from tins in the cupboard and a couple of leftover chicken legs and sausages.